You're what it is, what it do, what it be like, what's good, what's good. It's your boy Martin Hopeful, 1/3 of the Can't Focus Pod, coming back at you for another reaction video. We're gonna be talking about Yasiin Bey and Drake's response to Yasiin Bey. So, just to put you up to speed, if you haven't seen our video a couple of well, actually not a couple of days ago, like literally yesterday, we dropped it. We're gonna talk. We was talking about Yasiin Bey and what he said about Drake on a recent interview on the cutting floor. Now Drake caught wind of it and he had a little response. So shout out to Alive. He did say that there's gonna be a response at some point because Drake ain't gonna let that go down, right? He gotta say something back, something a little petty, a little. He did a little snuff. You know what I'm saying? Like for those who are not millennials, snuff is like kind of like a light punch. I don't know if you knew that, but anyway, we gonna get right into it.
Hip hop is a culture. It's a way of life. The way you dress, the way you talk, the way you walk, break dancing, the rhymes, stage show.
All right. So also Drake kind of had a quote under that. This is on Drake's stories on Instagram, and under that it said, I believe it says, "Don't." I just want to make sure I had the quote. What Umi say again? Let me shine my light, King. Don't change up now with a laughing face emoji. Um, honestly, man, let me be real. I 110% disagree with this take with Drake, bro. Now once again, let me say what I gotta say. Is Drake hip hop? Yes. I think that most def Yasimbe, sorry, no disrespect. Uh, what he said, I kind of agree with to a degree. Like I feel like you could do pop hits and still be hip hop, and I feel like Drake has enough hip hop records that at the end of the day makes him a hip hop artist. He got Tuscan Leather. He got those I forgot what is it, 6 a.m. in New York or 6 a.m. in Calabasas. Like all of these different timestamp songs that he got, it's him barring people up. He got one of his latest ones that I really am impressed by is Middle of the Ocean. With him with It's on his album with 21 Savage. So he got enough to say that he can get on a mic and go off on you. But like I do think that his hits, his true hits, are pop hits. His true hits are hits that are not necessarily hip hop. I know that my boy Kano would disagree. He thinks of this that if all the dogs didn't come out, hip hop would not have uh, a number one at all. In my opinion, I think that's a number one on the pop side of things. It wasn't him rapping. It wasn't really him doing much. And I just feel like that's just what it is for me. Now, the contents of what he was saying here, um, I have to be real. I feel like him using Method Man's like what hip hop is and what a culture is. Method Man is what he's saying is correct, but I feel like it's correct because that's Method Man, and I know Method Man is hip hop, and I know Method Man is legitimately like he's bar heavy. He's always trying to reinvent himself. He's always doing something. He was part of the most life changing group of all time, the Wu-Tang Clan. Like you can't take that away from Method Man. The man is part of the culture, no matter how you look at it. But there are cultural appropriators, and cultural appropriation is when you take something from a culture and try to make it your own and say like, "Yo, I'm the one that did that," right? Um, and I feel like there's people who do that with the culture and say that they're part of the hip hop culture. So I think, like, I understand what Drake is saying. Like it's in the style that he does and whatever the case may be. But I feel like I feel like what people are missing and what Yasin Bey is saying is that, and it's really at the end, the tail end of that interview, he mentions like, "Yo, what are we doing to save the art form? What are we doing to save the empire? It's crumbling. It's falling apart as we speak. What are you doing to save that?" And quite frankly, I can't see Drake doing anything. I don't like, as much as Drake is top dog in the hip hop Billboard charts. I just like, is he really hip hop? Is he really what he like? What is like? Is he really hip hop for the culture? If we said, listen, hip hop needs a savior, who am I going to come and call? I think my last person would be Drake. Like, that's not going to be the situation at hand for me. I'll call a Kendrick. I'll call a J. Cole. You know what I mean? I'll call a Joey Bad. These guys have a respect for hip hop and will encapsulate the culture in a way that makes it timeless. And I don't think that's what Drake's trying to do. He's just trying to make money and he's trying to be one of the greatest artists of all time. And I'm not going to take that away from him. It's his art form, it's his style, it's his goal. If that's what he wants to do, that's what he wants to do. I'm not you. But at the end of the day, I can't sit here and say, I can come to you to help with this culture. Um, and then I also feel like he's trying to make an innuendo like, oh, you be singing too. On Umi says you be singing, but you don't have a black on both sides, Drake. You don't have a black on both sides, bro. So who are you? What are you talking about? But honestly, bro, I just, I don't know, yo. Like, you do a lot of singing, bro. You do a lot of singing. Like, most stuff does a lot of rapping, and I feel like him taking that light shot at him doesn't even make sense because you do singing. You even rap. Like, I think one of your bars is, um, you got out rapped by a singing N word. Like, that was one of your joints. Okay, so you're admitting to the fact that you are mostly a singer than you are a rapper. So in my mind, like, what you're saying here wasn't really like, I feel like if you were to respond, don't use Umi says. Just maybe tell him, oh, say that he hasn't come out with an album in a few years. So what are you really doing? Or like, or if you really want to talk about the culture, talk about the things you've done for the culture. Which I can't think of anything that you that I can honestly say like, yo, you moved the needle in hip hop in some way, shape, or form, as opposed to somebody like Yasin Bey, who does do that. Even your counterparts, Cole, Kendrick, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, people don't like that album, but the fact that he took the step out to be able to do that kind of art form, it's him reinventing himself and reinventing the wheel of hip hop. Now there's going to be some people who would be more open to talk about their emotions, about their struggles. Cole, every track, he's reinventing himself bar wise. He's always bar heavy in some way, shape, or form. I mean, come on, bro. I just think you got a lot. You got a lot of climbing to do. You, money wise, you probably outshining all of them. But at the same time, like, what are you really doing for the culture? You used to do songs with with Fonte, bro. Fonte, little brother, one of the best rappers to ever do it. like I know you can do something. I believe that you can do something. Like, Fonte just don't get on the track with anybody. So that's just me. That's where I'm at. That's my 2 cents. With that being said, thank you so much for joining me. Uh, and I hope you take the time to continue to focus on us. Once again, my name is Martin Hopeful, 1/3 of the Can Focus podcast. You can find me at Martin Hopeful and follow us on Can Focus Pod. Peace.